So Fed to weigh higher interest rates next year while slowing rises this month. Federal Reserve officials have signaled plans to raise their benchmark interest rates by 0.5 point at their meeting next week, but elevated wage pressures could lead them to continue lifting to higher levels than investors currently expect. That's a scary thought right there. Yesterday, the market responded to that data. I think it dropped like a couple percent yesterday. Dow did. Most officials in September penciled in rising rates in between 4.5% to 5% next year. That landing zone could rise between 4.75 and 5.25 in the new projections. Fed Chair Jerome Powell outlined two possible strategies for proceeding. One would be to quickly raise the Fed funds rate well above 5% level, broadly anticipated in financial markets, and then lower it right away if it turns out they have gone too far. Another would be to go slower and feel your way a little bit to what we think is the right level, and then to hold on longer at a higher level and not loosen policy too early. Tom, if I'm reading this correctly, am I understanding that this guy is maybe hinting in January doing 0.75 of a basis point, maybe up to a point, to just put a big shocker to the system and see how it responds?
Yeah, what we're seeing is a episode of Dexter playing out in the economy.
Oh, wow.
The economy is tied with duct tape to a chair, while Dexter looks in. Do I do 0.5% with this tool, or do I just take the bone saw and cut off your arm on this side? And that's really morbid, and I'm not trying to be funny with that. But when I hear the Fed talking like that, well, maybe I do 0.75% in in the middle of December, or maybe I do 0.5% in January. Honey, does that mean you get laid off in December versus January? I'm trying to figure that out, Marge. It's like going back and forth. But that's what he's saying. What he's saying is we got some indicators here that said that inflation is still a problem, and he's trying to decide whether he does a big increase, yell loud at the economy to see if your kids stop and go to their rooms and go to bed, or if you just raise your voice a little bit, raise it 0.5%. That's what, when you think about it, that's what he's actually trying to do. He's trying to see if he can get the economy to slow down a little bit, and does he do a big right now or do a little bit in January? But it doesn't change what we were just talking about, that May, June timeframe is going to be the high point. Now the question is it going to be all the way to 5.25, or could we get lucky and be 4.5? Ladies and gentlemen, both numbers are big, and it's not going to be a soft landing. If you're saving your money, if you're being prudent, the things we were just talking about, planning for next year, your future will look bright.
So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here. Future looks bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan, bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people were in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here, and to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.